In the centering the United States, the country which is widely known for its multicultures and opportunities, there are numerous accounts of people who have been able to overcome challenging circumstances and thus come up with a bright future. Emitting the tale of a boy from the cradle to the grave and facing the challenges of life, they embody qualities like resilience, perseverance, and the American dream pursuit. The view opens during the critical moments of the protagonist's life. Not only the personal but also the professional hallmarks that determine their legacies are displayed. Early life. Rehumanized. Born in the Midwest, the little town our hero John Doe was born on December in 1950. John's family was simple, being his father in the factory where he worked and his mother in the school where she taught. A child who from an early stage showed a kind of a curious and knowledge-loving attitude that set him as different from other children was John. He was lucky in his childhood, coming from the simple joys like playing in the fields, going to the local school, and assisting his parents in their daily chores. There were several ethic codes, like the purpose of the boy to diligently work, authentic integrity, and persistence that were implanted to John's mind through the guidance of his parents. Notwithstanding the multitude of rights, they gave precedence to his education, thinking it is the primary source of a brighter future. John was always a par consolidator in school and would get through his school activities, often climbing high places. His consistent quality work also fetched him love and admiration from teachers and classmates alike. Education and career beginnings. Upon completing high school, as the highest-ranked student, John won a scholarship to study at a notable university. This, of course, was a reshaping instant in his life, occasioning the access to various opportunities that he had only dreamt of to that time. At the university, John decided to major in engineering as he was drawn to the grandeur of technology and innovation. He enjoyed substantial hours in the lab, working on projects that showed his resourcefulness and capabilities in solving problems. Apart from John's graduation and awards with honor, which opened up the door to the world of work, he was very able to catch the opportunity, and that is how John got acquaintance with a leading technology firm. The earliest part of his career merely the most pungent, and he scrupulously went up the ladder to the top of the corporate world. In spite of these, his voyage was not completely smooth. In an industry marked by speed and competitiveness, John was repeatedly confronted with hurdles that would check his patience and determination. Challenges and adversity. Rehumanized. The biggest challenge, as a matter of fact, arose in the early 1980s when there was a big economic turnover that his company, along with the rest of the companies, was forced to have large employees. After John welcomed a new baby to his family, he lost his job. Next, the financial pressures together with the doubtfulness made his life seem worse. But John would not say die. He took on a lot of part-time jobs to walk us while also being fully active in the job hunt. John exhibited his resilience particularly during this tough time. He chose to initiate his further studies and carried on with the opportunity of evening classes in which he pursued a master's degree in business administration. This step was a game changer for him, as it gave him the proper skills and know how to deal with the corporate world efficiently. Career success and achievements. In addition to his shining achievements that then John was armed with and his unswerving determination, he finally got the job at an emergent business in the technology industry. The duty of the project manager, his initial role, enabled him to be in a position to use both his engineering background and a blow-before-the-wind approach. The company was extraordinary in terms of its performance under his guidance, as they succeeded in making revolutionary products that transformed the industry. John's professional life was going from one success to another, as he was regarded as the one with original ideas and who could cope with challenging situations. He was later promoted to being an executive, which allowed him to be part of the team in charge of shaping their strategic path. Personal life. John, alongside working as a viable professional, would always put his family above all else. He and his wife Emily, who he met in college, have 3 children together. John possessed an extraordinary commitment to his family, often being involved in a great number of their activities and letting them flourish in everyday life. In the community, John was also a very active member. He, among other things, volunteered at the local schools, mentored young engineers, and supported several charitable causes. His lowliness and being generous earned him many friends, and he was widely thought of as an outstanding figure in the community. Facing further challenges. Getting into the latter stages of his calling, John was introduced to new obstacles. The field of technology was going through a period of previously unseen progressions, and staying ahead required him to be constantly engaged in acquiring new skills and keeping up with changes. What is more, he had to battle a serious health issue, namely cancer. As usual, John carried on undaunted and full of hope and standing fearlessly before the trials. Being sick and having to deal with treatments was a real-time ordeal that John went through and experienced the fact that life was really a fragile affair. Back then, when he was being cured, he was a cancer research advocate. Plus, he had really found consolation and support from patients. The man was using his position to generate people's interests and create fundraisers to fend off the scourge of the illness he had. His willingness to talk about it was so empowering to others as well as effective and underlined the significance of finding strength in order to overcome those obstacles. Legacy and impact. Passed away in the quietness of the moment in the year 2020, John Doe's legacy is persistently speaking out for the people to change their attitudes. His life story is the supreme example of not only that attitude, but also that education is the key to success, and a socially responsible person can change the world. More importantly, his groundbreaking works in the tech industry set a standard that other companies can now follow so that innovation would be promoted and his donations to the deprived will always remain there. Rehumanize John's legacy avails via the John Doe Foundation, a family-offered establishment to finance schooling and cancer research, among other issues. The foundation has been directly involved in grants for underprivileged students and has helped to pave the way for medical progress, therefore, ensuring the continuation of John's spirit of generosity and his commitment to making a visible change in the world. Rehumanize, a journey from being a poor child to a life of fulfillment and responsibility, describes John Doe's emergence from a modest start to a life of great success and service, in a nutshell. His is a vivid story that confirms to the society that success is not only about getting good personal results, but also it's a matter of coping with hardship and giving back to the community. John's life, aside from the above, is of use to others. He is a man who is able to front his difficulties, and in the long run, his dedication to others made him an unforgettable influence.